time for checking in. It's brought to you by our friends at CR Legal Team, CR Commitment, CR Results, CR Legal Team, proud partner of Carolina Athletics. Coach, you talked earlier in the show about that Clemson game and the way things changed over that next month or so. That Clemson game was on a Monday, so then you had a long week before you went to Syracuse. When you think about that week and those nights you spent thinking about your team, what changed? What was there a moment that you thought, okay, I'm seeing progress, or something that was said? What finally clicked?
Well, there's nothing that stands out during that week in preparation for Syracuse. I knew that it would be a really tough and competitive and difficult game with, J.J. Starlings, and, Syracuse plays extremely well at home. And so which was really interesting, there was really a lot of doubt that Jay Witt was even going to play that game. We had practiced on Friday, and he got hit in the eye, and it was so dramatic that we had to rush him to the hospital. And so we didn't know if he would even make the trip. His eye looked horrible. The next day. We went a shoot around, and he had glasses on. He took the glasses off. He says, I can't shoot with these. Went through shoot around and said, I'm playing. And we really needed him because, with Syracuse, they had a power forward that, can really score. And so for most of the year, we had been playing small, and we really needed a bigger lineup. And we played not just him. I've said this, when Jay Witt plays well at that position, and we have talked how that quote-unquote forward position is really huge for us. His size, his athleticism, and ability to shoot the basketball, it takes us to a different level. And I think probably the moment was that win on the road was huge for us. And I think the one that confirmed it was us coming home and playing in front of that home crowd against NC State during the snow. I mean, those two games, I think, ignited us in regards to look how good we can become, and on both ends of the floor. And then our confidence every game just got bigger and bigger, and we got more confident as a team. We just continue to grow and get better and more consistent, and it's really nice to see a team improve and playing their best basketball towards the end of the season.
So much is about making the NCAA tournament. I mean, that's one of your number one goals every single season. Yeah. At Carolina, that's an expectation, that's understood. But so you've made it, and this was a year in which you weren't sure if you were going to make it until right at the very end. So how do you try, and with your guys, or is this even a concern? Is there a concern that there might be an exhale, or do you still feel like, hey, we're hungry at this point in time? And
there better not be an exhale. No, you talk about the standard at Carolina, it's to win the national championship. That's our job and a responsibility, whether we have to win 7 games or 6 games, whether we have to start in Dayton or someplace else. That's the requirement here. And so, no, asking me that question is difficult for me to answer, because that has never even come to my mind, and it better not have come to mind of any of our players. The one reaction it should ignite us to even dig even deeper to our competitive fire, to not want this season to end and to win 7 games in a row.
When Van Allen Lubin came here from Vanderbilt, you had watched him on film. Most of us just saw him on paper.
Yeah.
And when we looked at him on paper, we thought, those offensive rebound numbers are high for a guy that size.
Yeah.
Now that you've seen him do it for a full season, and especially over this last month or so when he's really been doing it well, how does a guy that size get to the offensive glass, even against much bigger teams as he did this past weekend?
Yeah, but, I've said all year that in terms of rebound and size, it just doesn't matter. It's about the will and the want-to of you going to the offensive glass, and then on the defensively, making contact first, boxing out, and going and get the rebound. I mean, Armando is the all-time leading rebounder. Yes, he was 6'10", but he pursued the basketball all the time. Last year, Harrison Ingram, He's 6'5.5" and led the ACC in rebounding because of his pursuit towards the ball. And Vin's, especially over the last month and a half, his pursuit for the ball on both ends of the floor has been at a high level, and that's another reason why we've been playing so well lately.
Is there a difference in the way he's pursuing the ball the last month?
Yeah, it is. I mean, the pace in which we play, the level that we play requires you to be like you have to, your energy, effort has to be there on every possession the entire game. And, also there's an adjustment period. I know everyone, when someone transfers, thinks it should be their game should like automatically just translate to the highest level. I got traded 3 times in the NBA, and it was difficult as a professional to go to a different coach, different team, different city. These kids have to go to a different school, different coaching staff, different terminology. And so just trying to figure things out. And the last month and a half, 2 months, like he started to figure it out. And he's feeling more comfortable out there on the floor. And as a result, he's playing extremely well.
Coach, you have 3 talented freshmen on your team. 2 of them, and Drake and Ian, have played significant roles for you this whole season. And James Brown has as well, but more in practice right now in his development. How do you try and get, particularly Drake and Ian, kind of ready for what's coming? Because they
have no idea.
Yeah, and they are such difference makers for you.
They are. And how many games have we played? 30.
Let's see. What are the Tar Heels? 22. So that would be 34 games?
34.
35?
35. Yeah. They're not freshmen anymore. The schedule that we played and the 35 games that we've played, they have a full understanding of what it's like to play at that level. And also, especially playing in the ACC tournament, you're not guaranteed another day. And there's a sense of desperation and urgency to get it done, because if you don't get an opportunity to play the next day. And so obviously all of us, JB and Drake and Ian, have been huge parts of our success this year, and we're going to definitely need them in the NCAA tournament.